Hi there everyone, and thank you for joining me today. We are going to do a reading, and it's who's coming towards you for love. We've got 4 piles this time, so I'm going to show you 4 different cards. So if you choose the card that appeals to you most, this is card number 1. Can you see it? Oh my god, we don't have sunshine in England. I'm not sure if you can see this. What is that? Okay, hold it there. Can you see that? Pile number 2. If you can't see these, I'll take a picture at the end. Pile number 3. And pile number 4. Okay, so you've got 4 piles there, so if you want to take your choice, and then we'll get started and have a look at lots of different things, their appearance, who's coming towards you, what they do, etc, etc, so that you can recognise them. Okay. Alright, let's get going then. Pile number 1 first. I've got wax over here as if I've got some volcanic candles. Okay, pile number 1. So this is pile number 1. So this is your picture. Let's get going. Right, the energy of the person coming towards you, you've got the Queen of Pentacles here, and you have got the Death card. So this person, with a male or female, embodies a sort of female energy, but it's a grounded and confident and controlled energy. They're the type of person who you would go to if you're in trouble. They know how to sort things out, and they'll be very sort of, there'll be no panicking. I do think this person is going through a time in their life where things are changing for them, where they're feeling as if certain situations in their life are coming to an end, and it's probably a much needed end, and they're almost transforming into something else and something different. So it could be relationships, it could be work, it could just be something that's part of their life that they feel needs to change. Even though they may feel as if this needs to change, if it's the Queen of Pentacles, they may be quite resistant to change. So it might be quite difficult for them to be making these moves, even though they know that it's time to make them. I get the feeling that this person is quite financially stable. I just get the feeling from looking at these images that the person that we're talking about has a lot of things around them. Likes to own things, likes to touch things, likes to feel things, likes stuff, likes things to look good. I'm getting the sort of feeling of somebody who likes to cook and taste things and have a nice house that looks good and clothes that look good. They're just generally somebody who takes care of themselves and takes pride in themselves, but also somebody who may struggle when they haven't got money, or they haven't got access to money or food. You know, that type of person that really does kick off when their stomach's empty and they can't get hold of it. But I do think, I'm wondering whether this change in their life has got something to do with finances. It feels to me as if it's some sort of uprooting in their work, or even if it's a situation like a relationship, it would be the financial bit that will be upsetting them. Anyway, let's get going. Let's use these ones for the appearance. So let's have a little bit of a deeper look into who this could possibly be. Okay, there's quite a masculine air about this person. I think they're somebody who is tall and strong and quite sort of an alpha male quality about them, even though I've looked at the Queen of Pentacles. I wonder if that sort of marries up the sort of the financial and physical sort of need that they have. I wonder whether your person's highly set, because you've got the Queen of Pentacles and we've just talked about having to touch and feel and own things, and you've got the King of Wands here. And let me show you this card here. I don't know if you can see these, because I can see that they're reflecting. The sun has really shocked me because we just don't see it. And this person's strong, they're dominant, they're very sexual, they have a sort of magnetic aura about them that a lot of people find them attractive. And you've come up with the Queen of Pentacles as well, so whether it's male or female, it's somebody who is quite assured of themselves, knows who they are and how they affect people, but also is quite, almost get a greedy feel about them, you know, greedy for belongings and quite like things around them and their life quite ordered. You've also got this with the Queen of Swords, so I do think your person's also quite wry, quite clever, quite astute, quite good with words. I think though that this person and their appearance is going to be quite masculine. And I'm saying that if it's female too, it's going to have a masculine feel to it, a masculine air, just like stature and control and I think this person will be able to debate very well and win an argument, and somebody who is aware of what's going on in the world at the moment, but from a political point of view, or what I'm trying to say is somebody that may possibly read history and actually keep up to date with what's happening at the moment. So this is somebody you don't really get into a flippant debate with, because I think they could basically slice you to pieces. There's a strength about this person, there's the ability to communicate that's really strong. Now, 5 of Cups for appearance. I'm wondering whether at times your person may have amongst the strength and the domineering personality and the sort of, they seem to be very much in control of the world around them. I wonder if occasionally you might catch them with some sort of wistful look or some sort of vulnerability that almost shocks you. As if they're looking as if they've lost something, but there's a sort of vulnerable air about them amongst this sort of ability to debate and this strength in the way that they look and the way that they come across. I do think that your person will be tall or is tall or taller than average. And I do think their body is quite strong. There's a sort of domineering, laid-back feel about this, because you've got the King of Wands who's standing there as in, hey, look at me, aren't I sexy? And then you've got the King of Swords by the side of it. It's masculine as well, but laid back. And then the 5 of Swords, it's almost got a laid-back feel to it as well, and a wistful air about it. So I'm wondering whether your person can almost play with both. And when you meet them, I wonder which one you will probably pick up on. All right, let's go a little bit further. I'm getting the general feeling that on everyday activities or what this person does for a job is they are very interested in money. You've got the Princess of Pentacles here, which is, as we've said earlier, is somebody who is quite financially driven. You've got the High Priestess here, and it might be something they do that's quite secretive, or they might be just quite intellectual. They will have to look below the surface to find out I'm thinking stockbroker here. That sort of feeling of somebody who needs to read patterns, read below the surface, and then, because you've got the Fool card here, make a judgment that could be quite risky. So I'm definitely feeling a Taurusy feel here. Somebody who's interested in money and finances and likes to have good things around them. But this person, somebody who likes taking risks in their everyday life and possibly with their career, but somebody who is very aware of how things work and who likes money. So their everyday life will be somehow tailored that these things fit in. I just had a strange thought there, which is totally bizarre, but this gives me the sort of feeling, you've got the Fool here, you know, somebody who is, he's sat there in the water and there's sharks around him, somebody who like takes risks in sports, you know, somebody who likes risky sports like motor racing, and I know this is like everyday activities, but it just came to me, so I'm going to say it anyway. Or somebody who likes, you know, surfing, or something that can be quite painful when you fall off, mountain biking, that sort of feel about this person. And this was supposed to be my power for, you know, everyday life. I suppose it could be. So either their job involves risk and reading patterns, reading below the surface, and then somehow making money from being bold, but being bold but clever. That wasn't the word I was looking for. It means reading. I'm trying to think, you know what I'm trying to say, reading below the surface. But I do get the general feeling as well that their everyday life may be full of sports that basically bring you off your feet. You know, that type of downhill mountain biking, surfing, skiing, snowboarding feel about them. That they enjoy the thrill of being outdoors and being unstable, in my eyes, unstable. Like fast sports or dangerous sports or something like that. So that's the general feel that they spend a lot of their time doing, and also reading, which is really obvious. Okay, let me keep going. Oh my gosh, okay, this person, when they come towards you, you're going to know who they are by their energy is going to be so full of themselves. They have come up as the Emperor and the Six of Wands. So when they approach you, they are going to think that they're really attractive and let you know it. But they're also going to be quite heartfelt in what they're actually giving you. So they definitely are going to come across as being confident, as if they're doing you a favour by you being in their presence. But there's also a genuine, you know, heartfelt connection there. So it's not totally, that's just the way they are. It gives the impression of somebody who's very much loved by their mum, but also somebody who generally does feel for people, and they're quite romantic. It's like an old-fashioned feeling about this pile. Romantic, but almost a strong masculine presence. And, all, you know, there's an ego here, definitely an ego here. And they like to be recognised. So this is like Taurusy Leo. So this makes me feel this person is physically quite big. Likes their money, likes their comfort, likes to be in control, but, you know, generally has an open heart. Much loved by mum, and, you know, expects people to love them as they've gone through life, but also, you know, able to give it out as well. No, I'm going to use these ones later. I wonder whether this person has just come out of a relationship when you meet them, or will be coming out of a relationship, and I wonder whether they've had a lot of partners. I think there could be possibly a child involved, and I wonder whether this person has been quite hurt by the past relationship, and it's almost as if there's a feeling of needing to heal. Well, it's either they've had quite a few partners and they're trying to move away from it, and there may also be a child involved, or whether they're coming out of a relationship. I think it's a few partners, or two on the go at the same time, because you've got the Three of Cups here, you've got the Page of Swords. I'll show you the card. Three of Cups is like a group situation. The Page of Swords is like a child, and then you've got the Six of Swords to me, and this card to me as if it's been pulled away from turbulent waters, as if there's a need for healing and getting away from a situation. So I wonder whether when you meet this person, whether they've had quite a few partners and whether they're actually trying to move away from that. Or when you meet them, which is also possible, there still could be a child involved possibly, but I wonder whether they'll be with somebody when you meet them, which is quite possible. Okay. Let's use these ones, the next one. Yeah, their home life seems to be the basis of where they're coming from and their home life and what they've grown up with is almost a feeling of being loved. And it's been one of those nurturing households or where they're actually been provided for and stimulated. So this person could be quite on the ball and want somebody who's going to be able to, here you've got, that's definitely okay. You've got your Knight of Swords and you've got your King of Wands. I think this person is very used to people being there. They've not been ignored as a child, so they need stimulation. So this person needs to be able to talk to you and is probably, as I said, quite highly sexed because they need to be seen and entertained. You've got the Eight of Wands, which is quite sexual as well. There's just this need for feeling of fast sports, good communication. This person is quite a handful. They've been loved and they've got love to give out. They know what it feels like and they've got it within them, but they also need quite a fiery partner. Somebody who enjoys movement and giving and fun. Somebody who can join them on the sports that they want to do and somebody who can join them in a debate. You might be going off this pile now. Quite hard work. Let's keep going and see which cards would be best for this one. Okay, sexually this person's coming across as somebody who's quite a lot slower than they are in their everyday activities. They're somebody who is actually quite sensitive and quite controlled and likes to make sure that their partner feels good in whatever they're doing. It's quite sexy. This is getting almost as if, I can't really see the energy here because I'm thinking Taurus because you're getting that financial feel. You're getting that sort of large body feel. You're getting a love for money, but there's also a mixture here of needing to be entertained. But then sexually, this person is quite giving. They're able to read your cues and what you want and provide you with whatever you want. And I think they almost pride themselves in that. You've got a laid back, earthy feel about this person. It's not somebody who's going to be shy. It's not somebody who's going to be afraid to make you feel good. I don't think they're going to be very body conscious. They're not the type of person who's going to be sort of repressed in that way. But I do think they're able to read what somebody, male or female, wants in a relationship, and they want to make you feel good. This is where the energy gives out. Right, let me just see. So this is giving you, hopefully, some sort of inkling into the partner that's coming your way. The male or female. Let's have a look at some sort of problem and see if it fits in the rest of the cards. I know what I'm thinking as I'm doing this. Yeah, I'm thinking. Do you know what I'm thinking here is, I was thinking from this card here where the Three of Cups here that we talked about perhaps being a relationship and there be other people there. I wonder whether when you meet this person, because you've got the Three of Cups here, that they're going to be in a relationship already. And what's going to pull you two together is this strong sexual bond or sexual magnetism, because this person is quite a sexual person. And then there's this card of a sort. It's like feeling trapped or not being able to move in the situation, or basically the situation is off bounds because there's a few people. There's at least 3 people involved in it, and the pull is sexual. And this person is quite is driven in that way. But that's where the attraction is. The initial attraction between you two is definitely physical. But I do have a general feeling that this person is already involved with somebody. when you meet or when you will meet. So advice for you, use these ones over here. When you meet this person, I wonder whether you're going to meet them in work. And my advice would be, from these cards, if you meet this person through work, is basically keep your head down. Keep your head down and pretend that you haven't really noticed what's going on and have a controlled attitude. You know, sort of logical attitude, because you don't want to, if you're very attracted to this person as well, you don't want to be throwing, you know, the baby out with the bathwater and declaring your undying love straight away, because the situation could be quite complicated at the beginning. So just to sum you up, this person that's coming towards you, pile number 1, is somebody who's large and strong and financially driven. Their love style is basically they like to be loved. They like to be loved, but they're also going to give back. There's somebody who has that aura of being loved when they were young, and they expect a lot. They expect to be admired. But that is sexually, which quite surprised me. They actually are quite sensitive and quite giving, so that was quite nice. And then I do think this person is possibly, you may work with them, but they may be like in a relationship when you meet them. So the advice was, keep your head on, keep your head down. Okay, pile number 1, I hope that helps. Interesting pile there. Definitely a lot big energy on this person. Okay, thank you for watching.
La música de Harry Fraud.
Okay, hi there, pile number 3. This is your card. No, I'm lying. Pile number 2. Hi there, pile number 2. This is your card. Let's get going. Okay, so your person's energy is coming across to me as, I looked at these before I dealt them out. Somebody who you feel instantly familiar with. You've got the karmic soul here, so it feels as if you've known this person for a long time. When you meet them, you'll find them easy to talk to. They may be somebody you could possibly be quite anxious in front of, maybe if they're really handsome or beautiful, but when you're with them, you just won't care, because they would just feel like home to you. I do think you're going to meet this person in a group situation or with lots of people around you, but this person may possibly be introduced to you through work. If you don't know them already, it could be somebody that you work with, and they're quite skilled in that area. They're quite skilled and quite well known by quite a few people in what they do. But with you, there's this general feeling as if you connect straight away. You may work with them. You may work with them. Right, let's have a look at what they look like. Oh my good heavens. Okay. Do you know what? I'm about to read their appearance, and all I'm seeing is married. I wonder whether this person is extremely attractive to a group of people, as we say here. They could be married, and there could be some anxiety in the way that if you connect really well, there could be some anxiety in the way that you two actually interact. So this is taking me off appearance. Appearance-wise, from these cards, I would suggest that they are dark. And they have this magnetic pull about them. It's almost as if when you look into this person's, because you've got this person, I'll show you what I'm thinking. You've got the soul, the karmic soul tribe here, which has the eye that's looking at you, and there's a connection there. And then you've got the devil card here. So when the person appears to you as if they're just have a penetrating gaze, can almost see inside your soul, as if that's where the connection actually is, as if it's something that's been going on lifetimes, and there's going to be a strong pull towards this person. I'm getting all these cards, the people on these cards have got dark hair, so I'm wondering whether your person is dark, whether they have longer hair than usual. I wonder if they're quite self-conscious, because you've got the Eight of Swords here, and that's almost a card of anxiety, but you've also got it with the Devil, which is basically just some sort of strong magnetism. There's that sexual attraction that some people just tend to have. But there's a feeling there of being married. There's that Justice with the Devil as well, makes me think this person may be married. Both of these cards show a reflection. I wonder whether your person looks like you, which is a strange thing to say, but you've got soul tribe here, you've got reflections, you've got that magnetic pull, as if you know this person. And I often think, and this is something that I often laugh at with my family, is how similar couples look. And we also laugh at how people choose dogs that look like themselves. It's so bizarre, but there's that. You can look at it in two different ways. I always think that people are attracted to people that look like themselves, basically for the very obvious, that they look familiar and they look like family members, and so everything feels good. But I also think as well, this is from some book I read years ago, I also wonder as well whether if people are reincarnated into lifetimes and they're all the same soul tribe, whether that you tend to have similar features in every reincarnation that you have. There used to be an amazing website on the internet about some psychic man who used to read for people, but then they used to look at their features after reading, and they'd say, oh, I was so and so in my past life, and they'd put pictures together and they're almost identical, like God, what's that English comedian, Stephen Fry and Oscar Wilde, and the film that Stephen Fry did and Oscar Wilde, and they look like each other, their energies are the same, and they're very eloquent and they're very well read, and basically they are the same personality. It very possibly could be reincarnated. Anyway, what I'm saying is that when you see this person, it's going to be like walking into yourself, and there's going to be that attraction that hits you straight on. It's very strong in this power. These cards here, you've been in a group situation and you are going to feel like you've basically, whatever sex, whether the same sex couple or different sex, you're just going to feel like this person is part of you, and it's going to be really strong. I think it's going to shock you. If you don't know this person already, it's definitely going to shock you. I think your person works hard, working in HR or just some sort of situation where they work extremely hard at making things smooth for everybody. They're probably very good with words, and they're probably very good at winning people over to their side. They've got a lot of skills and they use them well. They bring people together in some way. I'm going to go a bit further on with this just to see what else I can get out of them. Okay, this person, when they come towards you, they're going to almost, because as I just said, there's this huge feeling of a connection straight off, and you've got the Fool here. So this person is not going to be, I don't think either of you, I think you're going to be a bit sort of shaken by the attraction straight away. And I think that you're almost going to, even if you're quite sort of reticent in the way that you come forward, both of you are going to forget about that. You're definitely just going to jump off the edge into this relationship. There's going to be playfulness, but there's also a feeling of not needing the other, which is really nice. There's a feeling of not needing the other, of just being quite content in yourselves at this time when you meet each other. So it's going to be fun and laid back without that neediness. There is definitely a strong sexual pull, so that might be something that comes into it. But I think the stage of your life that you meet each other, which you could know this person already, it's going to be playful, it's going to be exciting, but without that sort of gameplay neediness. When people like to know how much they're liked and they have to play with the other person. I just get the feeling you're both quite self-assured in that way. This person possibly could have, I'm not sure how to read these cards here, to be totally honest. So this row here for me is like their relationship status when you meet them. You've got the Queen of Cups, you've got the Star, you've got the Page of Swords. So very likely, because you've got the Queen of Cups and the Page of Swords, this person may be married or have just come out of a relationship, or they may have children, which is very similar to the last pile. But because you've got the Star here, it could very well just read that this person has been thinks or dreams or wishes a lot for a relationship. It's something they hold very dear, and it's probably something they've held close to them from youth. They probably have a need for a loving, stable relationship and family, because you've got children, you've got the Queen of Cups, so it could be either one of those. But because you've got the Star, it tends to make me think it's more of a wish and a dream and a hope than that they will be in a relationship when you meet them, and they may have children. It could be either. So you could take that either way, to be honest. I'm tending towards thinking that it's just something that they hold dear. The need to be with somebody who they can share their life with equally, and somebody who's quite loving and quite nurturing, and somebody who would possibly want a family. Right, what's next? Okay, I wonder whether your person left their, you don't know, but their home life. This is for their home life. I wonder whether this person has home life as they were growing up was one that was quite stimulating. There was lots of fun and laughter and celebrations, but there was also a lot of fighting. Just narky. Maybe they're from a big family. The Three of Cups makes me think there's quite a few people there, and they were very big at celebrating, but also there was a lot of family arguments. And I wonder whether your person left home either quite early, or whether it's something that made an impact on them. They could be quite independent. They could basically just be somebody who, when the situation gets rough, they're ready to move. Not somebody who clings to a relationship. The first pile I read was somebody who seemed quite grounded, strong, masculine, big daddy energy. But this person seems more free-flowing, more hippie-ish, more able to move, more flexible, more mutable. So I wonder whether your person, when at home's life, might have been a bit sort of spiky and may have moved away quite early. And that might be just part of them. They may be just very independent. Right, this is difficult for me to read. Oh no, it's the wrong one. Okay, I can read it. No, I can read this. Right. I thought it was a problem row, but it's not. This is for their sexual style, the way that they come across sexual. This person needs a really, really close bond. This is somebody to me who is almost, I'm going to say, asexual, in the fact that they're not that strong energy. They can shift between male and female energy. They're quite happy to sit, if they're a man, they're quite happy to sit with women and drink wine. And if they're female, they're quite happy to sit with the lads and drink beer. That sounds really sexist, but do you know what I mean? They can move into different personas. Sexually, this person has, this person is really looking for a strong, equal love connection. It's not so much sexual, it's just that feeling of being really connected to somebody. And what I think, possibly to do with their home life and the way that things have happened and the movement away from their home life, that when things get really close, that they may disappear. They may be somebody who pulls back and hides, and then tries to bury their feelings. I'll tell you why I'm saying this. You've got the connection there. This is sexual style, so it's an emotional connection that they need. They get very close. They feel that connection, and it's exactly what they're looking for. And then they basically become overwhelmed, sneak off. And your Strength card here is somebody who hides their desires and feelings. And the fact that their home life comes up as arguments, fights and moving away, that might be a pattern that they're very used to. It would be interesting to know whether those two do connect. I can't read that one. That's the spare one in the pack. I'm going to put one over it and see if that helps. Okay, this row here is for like blocks in the relationship. So I'm thinking that there's sort of a slight ego battle between the pair of you. Although this relationship comes up as being very sort of easygoing and you'll definitely know there's a connection there. There'd be no doubt about that. But you've got the Six of Wands here, which is for problems, is somebody that needs to win. It's somebody who needs to be recognised and feel that they're on top and basically victorious. And next to it, you've got the Five of Swords. And this person here looks defeated. So I wonder whether between the pair of you, there's going to be some sort of ego conflicts where you both feel different status at different times. By status, I mean that one feels like they're winning and the other one feels defeated. It's like a Pluto connections in synastry, where it's almost as if one's always trying to get one up on the other. And I often think especially when people feel this connection as strong as you two probably do, this is quite common because you basically are pulled together to bring out these things in each other. You're pulled together to make the other one know their self-worth, so they don't need to... No, there's not so much game playing with this. I don't really know. There's definitely a feeling, though, of an equal... not behaviour. A feeling of when one is up, the other is down. Which often it happens in healthy relationships. And it's very subtle, and it's very sort of, perhaps the only people that notice it are the people in the relationship. And this Temperance card is if this is the block in your relationship, is to find that balance between the pair of you, that you both basically are giving at the same time and not waiting for the other one to feel defeated so that you feel like you're winning. And to be honest, at the beginning there, I got it was 1, 2, 3. So this was their love style, and that gave me the impression that they were quite self-assured, or you were both quite self-assured, and you were giving from a place of self-confidence and just having enough. But here that does sort of insinuate there could be some game playing, so I'm not too sure about that. So advice for you with your person, if you know this person already or if you meet them, is, oh my gosh, okay. Your advice basically is to know that this attraction is going to be huge. If you're not with this person already, there will be definitely no umming and ahhing whether this is your right person. To basically know that this attraction is huge, not be afraid of it, and to basically just be yourself. Right, pile number 2. I hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. Okay, hi there, pile number 3, just dealing with your cards out and trying to tidy them up a bit. I think your person is going to come across as a very sort of feminine energy, but I do think that when you come together, it's almost as if you have come together for some reason it's almost like an explosive finishing off of some sort of past relationship that you may have had. It may be something that, if you believe in past lives, you didn't finish something off and you've been brought together in this lifetime to sort it out. I think you're going to recognise your person by their energy, and they're going to be quite soft, they're going to be quite caring, quite charismatic and very loving. Somebody who is always got your back, somebody who makes you a cup of tea when you come in, just somebody who has that look in the eye that knows they know what you're thinking about and they care about what you're thinking about rather than they just know it. Somebody sensitive, somebody creative, and just somebody loving, but you have definitely, I get the feeling you've been brought together to finish off something that was started before. So it even could be a past relationship here that's coming back in. I don't know. Let's go through the cards and let's see. So appearance-wise, appearance-wise, I get the impression that your person is somebody who is quite, strange thing to say, but fluid in the way that they move. They're fluid in the way that they talk, and I think they might have a sort of edgy look about them. You know, somebody who chooses their own clothes and knows how to put them together. Somebody who doesn't follow the same sort of what I'm trying to say. You know, you get in certain areas in the world, or in certain areas in England, especially, we have the way that we dress is quite different. As in, if you're in the south and you get the sort of beachy, sort of arty, hippie clothes, and all the women wear the same clothes and all the men wear the same clothes. And if you get on the train to London, everybody's trousers become a little bit tighter, everybody's skirts come tighter, there's a lot more fitted jackets, there's a lot more leather, there's a lot more black shoes. Nobody wears black shoes in Devon. So I'm getting the impression that this person has their own style, and it's something they've treasured and worked on. It's something, I think clothes are very important to them in the way that they come across, and they're very adaptable in it. It's something they've worked really hard on. So I think when you meet this person, they're going to be very well put together and very eye-catching in the way that they put their clothes together and their makeup and their hair. And I've not felt this with any other pile. There's definitely something that's individual about this person. And I think that's what's going to catch your eye, is the way their certain style. They've got a skill with the way they put their clothes together, or makeup or hair. And they've worked hard on it. It could be something that they do, you know, for a living. Let me just pull these cards down here a bit. I think that when you meet this person, or when this person comes into your life, and this is the bizarrest things, I've just had a thought that I wonder whether they won't be working at all. I wonder whether they may have just lost their job, and they may be going through a stage where partying is more important than working. I'm getting a very strange feeling from this pile. It's so different from the other piles. Your person is coming across as somebody who is loving and open, but very sort of edgy. A fun person who lives their life exactly how they want to live it. Somebody who doesn't care what people, they might care what people think, but they certainly don't act as if they care what people think. This person's very different, very unique. And I wonder whether when you meet them, they won't actually be working, or you might actually just meet them and out socialising, because you've got like drinking and smoking, and the death card here, and this is for the everyday activities and work. So it's the end of something, and there's a lot of socialising going on there. There's just somebody who is having fun at chatting with friends and socialising. Okay. The way that they come across to you when you meet them will be quite defensive. I wonder whether the person will have their back to you, or will be walking away from you, or basically not being very open. And your initial contact could be very hard and cold, as in there's no interest there, or you're not sure what you're getting from this person. There's going to have to be some connection. They're going to recognise that you are meant to be together, but I think this person's going to be quite withdrawn when you meet them. They may be defensive, and they may walk off from the situation, and you'll be wondering whether they actually felt the attraction that you felt. I wonder whether, I'm getting a real party feel from this person. I wonder whether that they have had quite a few partners and not been very committed, because this pile for me is like the relationship status and long-term relationships. You've got the Knight of Wands here, you've got two people, you've got this is only three cards, you've got the Knight of Wands, you've got the Queen of Cups, and you've got the Seven of Swords. So you've got two people here, feisty person, loving person. Seven of Swords is somebody that's walked away, almost in a deceitful way from a relationship. So I wonder whether when you meet this person, they may have a couple of partners on the board at the same time. I'm sort of saying this because there's this party, eclectic feel about this person. Definitely a different pile. I normally get these sort of like homely piles, but this one's different. It's homely, loving, you know, this is somebody who is different. Okay, I wonder if this person has got quite an edgy feel to them because their home life was quite hard. I think they were always trying to find balance in their home life, and I think they probably had to battle with parents or the mums or mum or dad or family members. And I think they have their esteem has suffered from this, and I wonder whether they put this. They're not so grounded in what they want because they have never known what that feels like. They've never feel that sort of sense of belonging that feels stable. So maybe somebody who needs to keep moving all the time, who is quite sort of I was going to say Aquarius, and I don't actually mean that, I mean Uranus-y, as in they have a strong need for freedom because they don't like to be tied down because they don't know what to expect. They don't know what's coming. They need to basically feel like they're packing their bag and running off. Oh my God, you've got it there as well. Okay, their sexual style, the way that they come across in intimate relationships is quite traditional but very open-hearted. I think once they actually connect with somebody, I think that I wonder whether they want to connect with somebody who is quite traditional because they might have missed that when they were younger. And when they feel that stability with somebody and that sort of traditional feel that they probably haven't felt in their home life or they don't think they actually need, that's when they actually are more relaxed and more expressive. I think this person finds it quite easy to actually reveal their heart and their feelings once they feel as if they can trust the other person. Because I don't think this person lacks in emotion. I just think it's just something that they don't actually think about that often until they're it may just be you, especially if it's unreleased and there's this feeling that you've been connected before. I wonder when this person's in a relationship with you and you give them some sort of stability or just a general feeling of being loved, that's when they open up and forget some of the past hurts. Okay, I'm saying that. The next one is blocks and problems in the relationship. I do think that your person, I'm going to regret saying this bit now here, I do think your person is very used to having, I'm going to say verbal, scraps, basically having fights, and is quite used to that sort of energy in relationships where it can be quite fiery and quite feisty, and what they do, possibly because of the stuff we've just talked about here, is that they walk off and the tower is reversed. The tower is when everything falls to pieces and it's some sort of basis that you've made of both built together and it falls to pieces, but the fact it's reversed, it's not something you can't get back. So that's the block in the relationship, is you always feel that they're on edge to move, and it's because of the way that their home life possibly could have been, that they're always packing their bags. And I'm saying this, I can feel it. It's almost as if they're packing their bags in their head mentally when things start going downhill. And I wonder with this person, you're always going to feel like you can't hold on to them. And if there's this sort of karmic release, I wonder whether that you in past lives, if that is so, this person and you have left each other and felt it's unfinished business. So it's almost as if they've got to get over this need to run when things aren't perfect. Right, I'm going to stop there because I've got another pile to do, and there's 4 piles in this one. I think my battery might go. But I'm wondering, because this is such an unusual pile compared to the other 2, whether this makes sense to you or not. Please let me know in the comment section, because this is somebody who has a wandering spirit, who is quite eclectic, quite different, somebody who dresses different and is recognised by that, but somebody who in relationships always feels as if they have to keep moving on until, just in case they get hurt. And that's hard to deal with from your point of view, if that is so. Right, pile number 3. Thank you very much for listening to me ramble, and I hope that helps. Right there, pile number 4. This is you. This is your pile. So let's go straight into your person and the energy, how you recognise them and how they're going to come into your life. Now, your person is coming across very different from the other piles. Actually, the first 2 are very similar. The third one was unusual for me, and this one also feels quite different. Your person is coming across as somebody who is magnetic but controlled, reserved. Somebody who's very sort of skilled but keeps it to themselves. Somebody who probably is very good at lots of different things. They're probably very bright. They can probably do different sports. They're probably very creative, but nobody really knows about it unless they tell you, and they don't do that often. Somebody who thinks a lot, who spends a lot of time on their own, and somebody who's quite wise and astute, but also quite protective of themselves. They are very good at reading people and seeing people's motives, but then again, I think they keep that to themselves. They're not somebody who uses it for attack. There's like a Scorpio Virgo feel here. They're somebody who just basically is very good at understanding what makes people tick, and they hold it inside themselves. They don't say it unless they really have to. Right, let's go. So you'll recognise this person by those qualities, and they have an air of, see, this just basically reiterates what's here. There's the Death card, which is an intensity. There's a 6 of Swords here. I'll show you why I'm saying this, because they just go with these 2 here. But these are the first 2. So this is their energy. So you've got this energy of protectiveness, and then this magician energy of the eyes. If you look at the eyes, there's being able to read behind a situation. And then their appearance comes up as Death and the 6 of Swords. So this person has a Scorpio reserved energy about them, as if they are almost taking everything in and mulling it over, and you can see it in their eyes, but they're not giving much out. This is also especially the darker parts of them. But anyway, let's keep going. So I wonder whether this person, their job is also quite reserved. They may actually use the fact that they're probably quite in touch with their emotional nature. They may actually do something that's using their mental abilities and their feelings in some sort of, they could work from home, they could work online. It's something that's quite reserved. I don't get the general impression that this person is somebody who stands in front of a lot of people, and if they're a business person, which Cancer people often are, I think they're the quiet partner. There's a strength here, but it's controlled. So their everyday activities, they're quite just reserved. It could even be somebody like a yoga teacher. You've got the hermit here, somebody who works on themselves, but somebody who's not. And you've got the Ace of Swords here, which is somebody who uses a lot of their mental ability. So I'm thinking somebody who works from home, somebody who is very good with ideas, possibly shares ideas on the internet, something like that. It's difficult to say. It's really difficult to pin down particular jobs, but you could be, a psychiatrist, because you've got ideas and you've got working on yourself and an awareness here. It could be anything. You honestly could. I can tell you the qualities, and then you can probably say whether it fits in. You could, because you've got the Princess of Cups here. It could be somebody who works in a hotel or in a bar that's quite quiet, and they talk a lot to people. Generally, I could ramble for ages, but I wonder whether this person's everyday activities are quite reserved. They work on themselves, they think a lot, they're very sort of profound. There's a gentleness about them, and there's something where they give out in small amounts to people, but they're also very good at using their minds. So that could encompass quite a few careers. I don't know if that makes sense to you or not. Right, let's go on to their love style. So the way that they come across to you when you meet them will be almost as if they're indecisive and there's some sort of anxiety there. There's almost as if they don't know what to do, like a rabbit in the headlights. This person appears quite shy. This person appears to me somebody who is very sort of reserved. So it could be somebody who doesn't know what way to act and overthinks it. And what they really want to do is basically just join in and party. They probably like a stable relationship, but they probably just come across as not interested, and it's because they don't really know how to act. They've got choices and they've got anxiety, and they want to have fun, but they just don't know how to go about it. This person, I think, thinks too much. This person is very reserved, and if you are somebody who's quite watery or quite earthy, this could really appeal to you, because there's a gentle feel about this person who understands people. It's quite a penetrating feel about it, if you know what I mean. Fiery person, I don't really think this person, if this rings true, would work for you, because I think you'd be wanting more from them, more action and less thought. And you may get annoyed with the fact that they are not, they're not forward in coming towards you. While other people, watery people, would love it. They would love the gentleness. They would love the humbleness about this person. Right, 1, 2, 3. I think your person fantasizes a lot. I wonder whether they read fantasy books or they watch a lot of films. This person in a long-term relationship is something they dream about. They feel that they want to give everything to somebody. It's something they think a lot about, and they like the stability. I'll show you the cards. Here you go. This is like long-term relationships. When you meet them, they could actually be in a long-term relationship, but I wouldn't, if the fact that you're pulling these out now, I wonder whether this is just how they feel about long-term relationships in general. So you've got the Queen of Pentacles. This woman or man, they like stability. You can see from the picture, you can see them, that they're thinking a lot about it. There's the need to open their heart and to give their heart and to share it. And the Seven of Cups is almost like fantasizing about winning. So I do think your person is somebody who dreams a lot about being in a loving relationship. It's something that's important to them. You've got a gentle, sensitive soul here on this pile number 4. I feel that their home life I'm thinking, hold on a minute, 7 of Wands. And the reason I'm thinking is that the pictures on this card don't really refer to how I've learnt the tarot on the other cards. So I'm just going to basically do my best here. So their home life, you've got the Strength card here. The Strength card is somebody who is a strong person, but sometimes they feel like they have to hide their thoughts and feelings from others. And you've got also this lion here who's crying. So I wonder whether your person has learnt strength either from their parents, the fact that they've made them feel strong and secure, or the fact that I'll read this. I'll tell you why I'm saying this, or whether they have just basically had to learn strength because they haven't felt this. Now the Seven of Wands. This person's almost I don't know why he's looking so happy. He's thrown himself into a situation. He's thrown himself out of a plane. But for home life as well, you've got the Five of Pentacles here, which is like almost like a low self-worth, of feeling they don't belong somewhere. But it's reversed, so I don't think it's that bad. So to sum this up, I think that your person has experienced some sort of heartache in their home life. And I'm meaning home life as in childhood home life. And they may have some sort of self-esteem issues in some way, but I don't think that you will see this, because I think because of the Strength card here and this card here, that they've worked really hard on themselves, and they throw themselves into situations with an almost grounded, stable way, if that makes sense. That was quite difficult to read, but I do think that her home life, they've learnt how to be a bigger person from it. I'm not saying it was disastrous, it's just basically the Strength, the self-worth card, and learning how to throw themselves out of a plane. Does that make sense? No? Yeah, no, it does. Okay, so... And this is what I find interesting, because your person is coming across as reserved and quiet and gentle, but there's also a strong sexual feel about it as well, because you've got the Magician here and you've got the Death card here, so there's this like Scorpio vibe about it, and the sexual style is coming across. The first two is the Devil and the Chariot. So I think your person, although shy and probably quiet in group situations, especially large group situations, will be somebody who, once they're on their own, you'll know about it. I think there's a strong sex. I think there's a strong sexual drive on this person. I think that's probably something that will surprise you. I think they do a lot of thinking about it, and they basically, once they feel they trust somebody, I think that's when they come into their own. You've got here that Work card again. I'm wondering the fact that we talked about this person's self-esteem. I do think your person deserves a round of applause for working on themselves. And I think that the sexual arena is something they don't really need to work on so much. I think that's something that actually comes quite naturally to them. I think they're quite confident. Cancer people are very sort of, although they're reserved and they're quiet, and then you get the fiery people who think, oh my God, I would sleep with that wet blanket. But really, they are very, very sexual people, I think. They're somebody who can read people, and they have this sort of subtle sexual style to them. I'm saying as if I know this, but I don't. There's an awareness. I think it's because I'm saying this because Cancer are cardinal, so they're forward, but they're also gentle, and that is very sexy because they're not somebody who hangs back and doesn't make a move, but they do it in a way that is almost quite sensual. That's what I'm trying to say. This person is quite sensual, is what I'm trying to say. You've got the Devil, you've got the Drive and the Chariot, and you've got somebody who's worked on themselves, backed up by a very gentle personality. Okay, right. Your problem in the relationship, or a block in the relationship, is that you may actually be somebody who's come back into your life and you've been separated. So I wonder, that's what I'm trying to work out here. So you've got, this is the block in the relationship. You've got the Two of Swords, which is two birds who have snapped. They're I'm going to say conjoined there. Basically, they were joined together by a rope and it's snapped. You've got the Queen of Swords, where one is basically almost on top of the other, and then you've got the End card here, which is the Ten of Swords. So your block in this relationship could be that it may actually be a past relationship that's coming back, and you may find that difficult, or you may not, I don't know. Or you may actually be separated from this person through a lot of your relationship, as in you could be in different countries. There's a strong feeling that this... See, this is what the blocked relationship is. I'm getting a strong feeling that the female in this relationship wants to keep the relationship together, but I don't want to finish like this because it doesn't seem very positive. But I wonder whether you have to go... I'm just reading what's here. So the block is split relationship, the female almost trying to keep hold of the male, and the Ten of Swords is the ending relationship. So the problem, or the block there, is that this person may come into your life, but it may not be permanent. It may be just some lessons that you have to learn. No, I don't want to use those. Let me do some advice for these last cards and see if anything comes clearer. Oh, upside down. Okay. I think I'm going to explain the card so you don't think that I'm just mad and making it up. You've got the Justice card here for advice. So your Justice is balance, and we talked about here that the block in the relationship is basically getting together. So obviously these two birds don't have the balance. There's the tens and it's about to snap. You've got the female here who's trying to keep hold of the male. and you've got the end of the relationship, and it's almost as if this knight here, if it's a male or a more masculine energy, is basically moving away and moving off. So to sum that up, I feel really sorry now. If this person is coming into your life, it's because you are meant to experience this person, but it may not be a long-term relationship. The only other explanation for this is if you've known this person before. And so the block is the fact that you've split up before and had some sort of separation before. Okay, well, pile number 4. I never want to do 4 piles. I hope that helps you in some way. Thank you ever so much for listening. And I hope that makes some sense. If it does, could you let me know? Because it's really interesting to me to see if anything does actually ring true. Thank you for watching again, and bye-bye.